Alright, I think we are go. So, hello everyone, my name is Ceru. I am joined again today by Azzume, whose microphone you could probably hear there, but will live. Today we're going to be looking at one of my team's games here. I recently joined Sons of Meepo, so we've been doing a few team games, and this is one of them. This is going to be a very interesting game, and I'm very much looking forward to hearing what Azzume has to say about my playing here. I'm going to be playing the Treant Protector in this particular game. But first up, let's take a look at this here draft. And what do you think, Azzume?
So I'm on my screen right here. I have they're about to last pick in just a second. So on Sons of Meepo, we have Treant Protector, Visage, Bristleback, Spectre, Viper. 0 stuns is the first thing that comes to mind. That means a somewhat scary and extraordinarily greedy laning phase. Since you drafted a Spectre, I'm just saying if you can somehow hold off, then you're going to win the game because there's no way a Vengeful Spirit, Venomancer, Mirana, Outworld Devourer can keep up with a Spectre uber late game, right? They all are, 3 are agilities and then Outward Devourer is a core, so they can all output pretty high amounts of damage, but your team's innately tanky. Viper, Spectre, Bristleback, Visage, and Treant are all extraordinarily tanky heroes, so
Yeah.
that's the first thing that comes to mind. They have lots of damage, but you have lots of effective HP.
Yeah.
First thing
Yeah,
comes
that's.
to mind.
Yeah.
Then I'm pretty sure they last pick a Doom as well. So Doom is really good, really good to pick if a team has a single core lineup. Like, because a Doom automatically knows who to Doom, like in a fight.
Yeah.
If you take out all the damage, then you win the fight pretty much, unless the other team pulls off something spectacular. But in this one, you have a Bristleback that's doing a lot of damage. A Viper does lots of damage, and a Spectre, if it gets enough farm, does lots of damage. So yeah, that's Doom last pick's kind of interesting. Anything about the bans?
No, just Dazzle and yeah, Dazzle is one of our staples, so we know how annoying it is up against our drafter. Likes to ban it out when we are not opting to run it, just because the Shallow Grave can be so annoying, and also we were kind of aiming to do a Treant-based aggro tri-lane here, so a Dazzle against that would be pretty catastrophic, just because that Shallow Grave just has potential to turn around any kind of aggression from us, and we are really reliant on it in this. So it's a little bit of a cheesy strat, but yeah, I think it's pretty bad.
You mentioned the aggro try. I didn't even think about it because I usually think of Spectre as a pretty much
Yeah.
Epicenter safe lane. But that is kind of a scary try. I mean, you have lots and lots of slow, right? 3 things with slow. No stuns, so it's really hard to kill a Mirana. But the sustain of the lane and the damage burst, especially from Visage, that's actually pretty scary. So yeah, I didn't even consider that.
Yeah.
Okay, are we ready to start with the
Yeah.
actual
I think
game?
So let's just take it from here. So 3, 2, 1, play. We'll see the Doom picked up here in a second.
Radiant team pick.
One thing that isn't, like, as you say, we do have the carry advantage with these lineups, but
10
okay, it's
seconds
gonna be a little while
remaining.
apparently, but
5
yeah,
seconds
I
remaining.
think going Spectre when we are gonna do an aggressive tri-lane might have been too greedy, just straight too greedy, and
Spectre doesn't have pretty much any laning presence is the only problem.
yeah,
Like her steroids are so based for late game that it's like it's hard to justify picking it up against an early game lineup.
yeah,
It's just that greedy. So I guess the Doom pick was that they were going to punish the Spectre pick really hard
Mm.
and
Prepare
see
for
if they could
battle.
do something with that. That's the best thing I can think of.
yeah. I mean, it does prevent Spectre from pulling the ulti trick. If you get the Doom down, then you know that's a gank successful probably from their side. So I think that's probably the reasoning, and I think it's a pretty decent pick here. I don't remember where he laned though, Doom. Though it might have been a jungling Doom.
Yeah,
Looking
looks
at
like
it.
it.
Okay, I don't like that. But then again, you know, it's these days I just whenever I see Treant, I kind of think maybe an aggressive tri-lane, and if you're doing an aggressive tri-lane, you don't want to have a jungler up against that because that's just gonna weaken your lanes.
The only exception is if the actually, I somewhat I somewhat agree and I somewhat disagree. Because if a jungler has good movements,
30
then you can turn
seconds
around
to
and try
battle.
lane really hard. Like if you get an Enchanter or Enchantress in there, then they can really, because you have then 4 heroes in your lane, right? You have an
Yeah.
additional stun or a net or a clap from an Ursa or something like that. So Enigma isn't that strong of a ganker. He kind of is because Malefice scales somewhat well once you get a few levels, and then Eidolon's hit semi-hard, but compared to like Enchanter and Enchantress, he doesn't offer nearly as much. He's more of a,
Battle
I'm going to show up in
begins.
your lane, push it, and we're going to get quick towers, kind of like a Chin does.
Yeah, so here we tried for a quick first blood just by rotating into the jungle, but we were kind of very clumsy about it, and we just got spotted out right away, and now they're gonna react. And what they're gonna do is they're gonna send Doom solo top, and then lane Mirana, Venomancer, and Venge bottom against us. And I think that's a pretty good move. That ends up working out for them pretty well.
Yeah. Bristleback does fine against Doom
Yeah.
as well, and Viper does well against OD. So
Yeah.
your lanes are okay besides the Spectre lane, and I'm gonna talk about your item build or your item build in just a second. Right now, I mean,
Yeah.
you went boots first, up against 2 stuns and a Venos slow. I'm gonna disagree because I don't think you actually need the movement speed
blood.
when you have 3
It was
slows in your
ours all
lane.
along.
You have the Spectre dagger, the Visage slow, and then your Treant slow as well. I don't think the move speed is what's going to contribute too hard to this lane, but that's just my personal opinion. It is good for gap closing and for chasing.
Yeah, we were a little bit unsure of what kind of lane we would be up against. And also maybe a little bit on autopilot here. With regard to the build, we've just done a very similar try lane in the game before here, and I think maybe we just weren't considering that this was the wrong thing to do. Just yeah. And here we kind of realized that with us giving up the first blood, this running the Spectre down here isn't going to be good. We are going to opt to switch it out with the Bristleback basically, and just say, okay, we're going to lane the Spectre against the Doom, and then have the Bristleback down here, and hopefully that'll turn out a bit better.
Mm-hmm. Bristle, you guys could shut down a Doom pretty easily with the tri lane if you all swapped right now. Bristle, yeah, it's a pretty scary lane for pretty much anyone. Bristle could tackle it. Maybe Clock or Centaur could handle it a little bit better because they rely on right clicks more so. But yeah, this dual lane now. Well, this is the problem because Bristle's still top, and this dual lane will just die to the tri lane. Yeah, because Visage has so much damage, then you're able to get that kill.
Yeah. And also the Treant right click at level 1 is 85, so
Mm-hmm.
it just does a lot of damage.
I'm looking at top. I don't know why Bristle's staying here. Is he zoning out Doom or something?
I
Looks
don't
like
know
it.
either. But you know, maybe I don't know. He just wanted to farm a little bit.
Interesting.
Yeah,
so now
I
he's
think
bottom.
that's just an
Now he's
outright
bottom.
error. Just a little bit of hesitation, maybe. I don't know.
So now he's bottom, so you're tri-laning against theirs with a Bristle now. And this is leaving Spectre solo against a Doom, which is not a good matchup for Spectre. I guess it's actually okay since you have a tree, so she can survive.
Yeah.
And Viper looks like he's getting attacked middle.
Yeah, we failed to communicate that they were going amazing here. So yeah, we just didn't have enough vision in our bottom lane here, so we lost vision of their supports. Mirana was comfortable in just farming
Radiant's
alone.
top tower
We didn't
is
get
under
that
attack.
communicated, and the Viper got caught out. Yeah, so pretty standard. Nothing really groundbreaking there. With regard to maybe running a Centaur
Radiant's
instead,
top
that was the
tower
very
is
first
under
ban they
attack.
did. We do run the Centaur quite a lot, so yeah. Maybe they took a look at our Dota Buff page. If you take a look at the Team's Dota Buff page, you can see all their drafts, and yeah, Centaur is one of the offlaners we run a lot, so maybe we got a bit scoped out there.
Could be.
Come on,
We have done that against other teams, I know, at least.
Tree's a hero that, and talk about skill building and all this a little bit. The Invis doesn't it scales well with points, but his other two abilities are so vital for the hero to have any sort of impact whatsoever that you usually opt out. The invis, you can sometimes get a point early, but that's about it.
Yeah.
And I also seen you were sitting on 600 gold. Usually, when you have a mid, something like a Viper, something that really needs the chicken, like an Invoker, a Tinker, or anything, you have to get the chicken upgraded as fast as humanly possible. Like, you want to have it queued for 3 minutes on the dot.
Yeah, that's that is straight up error. Like I had just completely forgotten that I hadn't done it. Yeah.
Visage's item build, I wouldn't get a Ring of Protection. Bassi is good for Visage, and it's on the recommended items because it synergizes extremely well with his passive, right? Because he gets bonus armor, bonus magic resist. But Bristle's already got a Bassi, 1. And 2, you don't want to get something like a typical region item on a support because you could have an extra set of wards, you could have a flying chicken, you could have extra sentries, you could have another smoke, so that's another kill. Supports get their kills not from sustaining in lane, but from making sure that their cores are winning their lanes.
Yeah. So we catch Mirana out. She did manage to leap, but again we have tons of slows, so that just wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a lot to say about that. I kind of agree with you. It's I think a lot of these mistakes stem from us not being used to running an aggro try. So everything's kind of a little bit what do we call out of rhythm. So these things which would normally be in place, like getting the flying courier around 3 minutes and stuff like that, is just sort of not there. And I don't really know. I'm sitting here thinking why weren't we communicating about the chicken not being upgraded?
I guess Viper's died twice, so he hasn't really had a need for the chicken all that much. I mean, he's got his Aquila, but that's it. He hasn't gotten anything since. So he's hit 6, and that's a pretty huge level for Viper to gain. But it's not like he's using chicken all that much. He goes for a kill on the OD, but he had no creep support. That was just, there's no way he was getting that kill. And as Tree, well, right now Spectre should be yelling out that she's getting killed. She would live right now with a living armor. That'd be really close. Ooh, so close. It was 1 tick, literally 1 tick.
Slightly too late. Yeah.
Yeah, but every time living armor's off cooldown, you usually want to be using it, unless you're expecting gank and you're like saving it. Like, okay, they're probably gonna go on them, so I'm gonna save it just for a few seconds off cooldown.
Right now,
otherwise it's a sorry.
I'm trying to just balance it so I at least have mana up for a leech seed if I do need it. Yeah, we do wanna see if we can be aggressive on this Mirana here.
The reason we got the kill last time was because the bottom was too far up. Otherwise, she should never die. I mean, this one you're blowing a Spectre ulti for it. You do have detection, but she still has a leak.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
If this does so much damage.
Yeah.
An exquisite toxin.
Yeah, so it ends up being a good trade there.
Radiant's bottom tower is up.
I think we really needed that though. So that's pretty good for us. I should be using my living armor here on something, but I don't know why I'm just kind of blundering.
Yeah, I would max living armor completely all the way. I'd usually just get 2 points in Leech Seed, max living armor, and then get 1 point in Nature's Skies, because the invis can be so helpful. Like, if the enemy doesn't have detection or something, then it's completely worth a value point.
Middle tower is under
Usually you can save teammates as well as yourself. And also it's good for initiation too. But the living armor cooldown reduction and extra procs for the hit are just so good. Plus working on towers. Yeah, I don't see why you would ever not max living armor first. I guess if there was absolutely non-stop fighting and you were constantly 5-manning because everyone decided to go ham a game, then that might be a good reason.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just living armor. You're completely right. At the lower levels, living armor just feels pretty not super good. But once you get like up to 3 to 4, it starts to feel really potent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Takes like, let's see. It's not very many. You can heal a tower up to full, right? So it's 13 regen per second for 15
Dire's
seconds.
middle tower is
What
under
is that?
attack. Radiant's top tower
So
is
15,
under
30,
attack.
400, so a little under 400 a few times. Yeah. That's like 3 or 4 things per tower.
Yeah.
That's pretty huge. And for a Spectre too, an 8 late tanky carry that will never ever die with Dispersion Living Armor. That's really thinking good.
Yeah.
So that was actually a good smoke, ended up killing the Vino. This gives you more map presence, but you're giving OD space mid.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's going for. It looks like he's going for Midas, which I'm going to disagree with. I
Radiant's
guess
top tower
their
is
heroes
under attack.
scale into the late game, but there's no way you're going to outcarry Spectre. I would like go for as much fighting oriented build as you possibly can, even though you're an OD. I would go like 4 staff into quick sheep or something. Or mech, I mean, into quick sheep.
Take me!
Yeah, looks like the plan is to just doom the Spectre whenever possible and disable that ulti escape. That is certainly what happened just there. Yeah, I think maybe with that smoke gank it would have been better to maybe turn around towards the middle instead, because like we already have the tower down over here. They can't really afford to farm their jungle when we
Yeah,
have
there's
that.
just a Vino too.
Yeah, that's like the lowest priority hero on that team to kill. So if we could have swung around mid, killed the OD, that would have been a lot more important.
Mm-hmm. OD is pretty scary if he gets farm, but he only does. Well, I mean, if he hits a 5-man ult, then it's pretty devastating in a team fight. But until he hits 16, then it's not a huge AOE. So he's not all that particularly scary because he attacks really slow, so he doesn't remove living armor quickly. So if he's just whoever he's hitting, you just living armor them, and he does about no damage to them. So, okay, that's an exaggeration, but it's extraordinarily reduced, right? So what's good at reducing living armor? Doom, it ticks pretty consistently, and Vino. So whoever gets living armor, Vino needs to hit with some damage over time in order to make it count. So that one, you could have straight up ulted the guy and he would have died. He gets a slow. And he's gonna have to astral himself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the Dust was too early, I think. Oh no, Dust goes on things in Astral today, I learned.
Yeah, it's so weird things get hit by things in Astral.
This is a crazy fight.
Yeah, it is.
The Doom is still up. I don't know why he's not using Doom.
I
He
actually
killed 2 of
think,
you right here.
yeah,
Radiant's
yeah,
middle
probably.
tower
I just
is
feel
under
like
attack.
they just shouldn't have gone in there. It just, you know, with max lead sheet, it's just that situation. It's just so cost effective. We have so much damage, so many slows around that it starts to become really hairy to go in there. So I think just the fact that they should just have recognized that Doom was dead, and instead they end up losing 4, which is just, you know, super bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're losing 4 heroes to a better late game lineup, it's not looking too good for you.
Yeah, I mean, okay,
Radiant's top
that's one thing I
tower
wanted
is
to
under
mention is
attack.
Treant is very odd in that he's a kind of early game centered hero that is good at forcing the late game. Which is like really weird. And I guess it's pretty common actually, but it's just kind of weird that he's good at forcing the game to go into a state where he is kind of not very good.
He prolongs games.
Yeah.
He's
Kinda like-
for a spectator, he's kind of boring because it's like there's no such thing as chip damage on a tower. Like you have to kill a tower.
Yeah.
Like if you just hit it down, then he'll just heal it back up before the next fight. So it's things. If you don't commit 100%, then the tree wins, right?
Yeah.
Like he prolongs it long enough so that you get it off. Why are they there? You
Yeah.
need to be like living armor people, just so it takes them more time. You end up getting it on the bristle there.
Radiant's bottom
Yeah,
tower
yeah,
is under
I know.
attack.
That was so small. They definitely shouldn't have been there.
Yeah,
No
it was
way.
just a bad movement. Let's pause here just to see if we are synced up.
Okay.
So where are you at?
2749.
27, 49. So I am a good, like 20 seconds ahead.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna catch up to you.
yeah, I'm at 28:06.
28:06.
But I'm actually gonna go ahead because we are at a pause right now. So I want to just skip that because it's annoying.
All right, so I'll pause right as soon as it starts.
There we go. There we go. Okay. At yeah, 28:25 is we are on pause there. Yeah. So
28:25.
yeah. And the Visage just kind of sacrificed themselves to get a vengeful kill there, which I also think is not ideal. I don't think there's any reason to do that.
Yeah, Visage for Revenge. I would argue Visage is more important than Avenge, but
Yeah.
they're still... The Visage is being played as a 5 role in this particular instance, right? I think. Yeah.
For-
I mean, he's got... You're playing the 5?
Yeah, I'm playing the 5, definitely. We want the Visage to get up the Aghanim sets and kind of be a more DPS hero. Then,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, you went for treads. So I guess a 5 for a 5. So I guess technically okay, and they did blow Doom and all as well. So
Yeah, okay,
That's
they
pretty
blew the Doom, which was... I think that's just a straight mistake. That cooldown is pretty long. I don't think that's...
yeah, the Visage wasn't getting out of this.
yeah, he's in the middle of 3 heroes still.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just, bad. Like, even if we come in, there's better heroes to throw down the Doom on. Maybe they're afraid of the soul assumption, like claiming the Venom or something. He is at 400 life already, so... it is a maxed soul assumption. It can get up to... Oh, how much damage is it? It can get up to... Is it 500 or something?
Ridiculous, yeah.
Yeah, it's a
6 souls at 110 threshold, so 660.
yeah.
Oh, well, I guess it's factored in magic resistance to about 25. So, yeah, about 500 damage.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that. So he could actually just... Yeah, it is saving the Venom. I think. Probably, yeah. They don't have a way to silence him.
I think... I guess that's true. He already has a ton of souls on him. Like, the Venom had already landed Gale, and he's got a Poison Sting. So all the Venom needs to do is, like, throw out wards and then just run. There's no way the Visage would be able to catch up. And he's got
Yeah.
Arcane Boost, so he's moving at plus 60 speed. Or plus 55 speed, sorry.
Yeah,
And he's already got tons of souls on him. I don't think there'd be a way to kill him.
yeah, I just think, if he wasn't doomed right now, he could just, in this position, just throw it. Because it does have a range of... doesn't say. But I think it can be thrown from here. Just this... it looks like he's pretty close here, so... yeah, it could be not. They do have the OD there as well. He has got maxed Astral Imprisonment. He could just do that.
Yeah.
But yeah...
They have ways to kite the guy.
Yeah. Anyway, wanna resume again?
Sure.
Okay. We're gonna do it on 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, that's watch out.
So, this is G-Sit. I'm fooling around in mid. Looks like I'm making a slow start on this this mech.
Radiant's bottom
Yeah.
tower is
That
under
is
attack.
smart. Worth mentioning, you want to go Buckler first, like 99% of the time.
Yeah.
Because extra HP regen is not worth it compared to armor bonus.
No.
But something else I want to mention, usually Viper wants to get a quick mech, right? He's a tanky hero that Vanguard doesn't benefit as much because he's range. And he has a pretty good HP pool, especially if you went treads or something. Like, Viper can go treads or phase. It's not too big of a deal. But his going mech gives him more regen per second. He usually gets an Aquila or a Bassi anyway, but since you have a Bristle on your team, you would normally want one of those. So mana regen's not too much of a problem. You have Arcane Boots. And by now, instead of him having a drums, which he hasn't used a charge on, he could have mech, which would let you win pretty much every single fight. I mean, the Doom has a mech, which is the only reason they're pretty much still in this game, because they've been able to turn a few fights around, but if he had a mech, then you'd be able to contest a lot more and make sure Spectre doesn't die, like, even more so than she already isn't.
Yeah. Well,
Oh.
she does have 2 deaths, I think, yeah. So, she's actually died a fair bit for it being 15 minutes. Certainly not...
Dire's bottom
completely
tower
vulnerable
is
here.
under attack.
Yeah,
She's farming extremely well, though. She has 77 last hits.
yeah.
Comparatively to the other team, you have 2 of the highest CS, and then the Doom off lanes the second, or their highest CSer. So
Dire's middle tower
I don't
is
know.
under attack.
Whenever you're drafting for something, you either want to have someone that can get a quick mech, like a Viper
Radiant's top
or
tower is
a
under
farming
attack.
Vino or something like that. If you don't, then you have to make sure that you have something like a tree or something that can protect you long enough throughout, or
Dire's
escape heroes,
middle
constantly. A
tower is
pot on
under
a
attack.
Lycan, something in order to
Dire's
just make sure that
structures are
doesn't.
fortified.
You just make it until someone can eventually get a mech. So you're choosing to fight this. The Doom's Doom is back up, and he gets it instantly on the bristle. The Spectre, I don't think, should have come in, unless she doesn't have anything yet.
We should just not have taken this fight. We should just have taken the trade, I think. Just
Yes.
kill their tier 2 top and let them take it. It's obviously, like, looking at this now, we couldn't fight there. I think the Bristleback just TPing in right on top of the turret, or the tower, was also a big mistake. Like, I kind of felt pressured into going in and trying to secure him, because he was just gonna melt.
Dire's middle tower
Despite,
has
you know,
fallen.
being a Bristleback, one of the best defensive heroes in the game, he can't just go in there. So,
No, not until he has a few more items.
yeah.
He's got Vanguard, that's it. Vanguard,
Dire's
that's he
middle
treads.
tower
He's pretty
is under
tanky, but not
attack.
against a Doom, which disables pretty much everything.
Yeah, the counter.
Does Doom disable Bristleback?
No, that was just patched, so it doesn't disable Bristleback anymore.
Dire's middle
It used to be
tower
one of the
has
only
fallen.
things you could do, but yeah. Oh, wait a minute, no. Actually, that might have been. I might be thinking Sheepstick.
Sheepstick disables Bristleback, I know. I'm not sure if Doom
I
does.
think that was just changed over time. I'm not sure. People were whining about it a lot because it used to be just what you did against Bristleback, but now you can't anymore.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
Revenge ends up getting herself killed. One problem with Treant in a game like this is that they have a Vino who's really good against just ramming through all of the living armor instances. So it's just not a fun game for Tree. It's not that Vino doesn't counter Tree so hard and that Tree's completely useless because
Yeah, it's
like,
just that
he does
one
chip
ability.
damage on towers. So if you hold back, the push, then he'll get, or the Tree will revive the towers back again. So Vino's completely doable against a Tree. Or sorry, if you're the Tree, but it's just a hard game for him.
Yeah.
So again, pushed out a little too far. I don't know why they're trying to force it so hard at this point, because you have a Spectre and she's almost got Radiance. It's like you just lost 2.5 fights, kind of. I mean, you repelled them in that, but it's like you've got them pushed up. Just make sure everything's warded, know where their movements are.
Yeah.
Spectre can continue to farm, and then if you find one by themselves, then haunt in, get the kill really quickly, continue farming. As soon as Spectre gets up a Radiance and then something else, then they're gonna have a really freaking hard time to kill her.
Yeah, I think that would be the better recourse. It's just, as you're saying, like the Spectre has been getting good farm, but what she's ramping up to is the Radiance, and that's an expensive item. And just getting the Sacred Relic is a good item, but it's it's not really that right-click damage from the Spectre you want to rely on.
Eventually you do, but the
Yeah,
Radiance offers nothing other than
Dire's bottom
it's a
tower
farming
is
tool
under
that
attack.
applies to your illusions. So it does a lot of damage because the Spectre and her illusions hit everything,
Yeah.
but it's not a
Dire's
tanky tool.
bottom
So
tower has
if they
fallen.
find the real one, then the real Spectre's completely screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't go max dispersion first. So I'm gonna disagree with this skill build from the Spectre. The Desolate max is really good if you want to do tons of damage on a specific hero, but the payoff, or sorry, the way to counter that is that all they have to do is group up. Oh, here's a fight bottom. So they throw pretty much everything on the Bristle, which is smart, because the Bristle won't be able to do anything. Viper goes down. The Spectre is doing absolute work, because they didn't doom the Spectre or
Dire's
anything on
bottom
him.
tower has
Yeah,
fallen.
and the Radiance got finished, so that's also doing
Yes.
a lot.
That
Yeah.
absolutely won that fight right there.
Yeah, we did a little bit of a dummy there and focused on the Doom instead of the OD, which OD definitely being the better damage dealer there, and Doom being just stupid tank. So yeah, that was a bit dumb. Like, we could just have gone. The OD actually manages to live. It's gonna be one of the things that's gonna trouble us. This game is actually just getting to those damage dealers, the Doom and the Mirana in fights is gonna be a little bit hard for us.
And also, since the Spectre didn't die that fight, she gained 3 levels. Okay, so she's got now full dispersion. So now my point's kind of null and void, but
Yeah.
Roshan
maxing
has
dispersion
fallen
if
to the
you're
dire.
you want to max dispersion if you're losing, right?
Yeah.
If you're absolutely dominating, you want to max desolate. A lot of people will do actually both. They'll max both of those and they'll only get 1 point in the dagger just for the pathing, right? Because
Yeah.
you can go over cliffs and all. So a lot of pros and all do that. That's something to consider as well.
Yeah. 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 I don't have anything to add to that. I think it sounds very reasonable. But yeah, one thing about dispersion is it is damage prevention as well as an offensive tool. You do reflect the damage, which means to say, when you have it max, it's 22% of the incoming damage you're not taking.
Right.
Yeah, so
So that's only useful if they're throwing all kinds of stuff and you're not dying. Like,
Yeah.
if they burst you down and you are dying, then it's a pretty useless spell.
yeah. Well, it will
So
still
it's-
reflect a bunch of damage in pure damage, but else, yeah.
It's like a blade mail, right? You want them
Yeah.
to hit you so that they hurt themselves, but you don't want to die in the process. So
Yeah,
instead of
exactly.
being a suicide axe, you know, or suicide, well, bristle, you actually don't want to get blade mail on because
Yeah.
it's
You don't
damage
need
reduction.
to. Yeah, and you don't want to further deduct the. You don't want to make yourself less of a target because that shouldn't be hitting the first back anyway.
Right, right.
Yeah. So if you just
That, at first that didn't make sense, but then I was like, yeah, I think that makes sense. Yeah, that makes
yeah
sense.
in a team fight, yeah, if they're hitting the bristleback, they're doing it wrong anyway. So
Radiant's
like
bottom
they're
tower
just-
is under
yeah.
attack.
Whenever you decide to go on an innately tanky hero like Bristle or Spectre, you have to make sure your entire team's on course for that. Like, we are gonna kill this guy, and then we can deal with everything else. Right?
Yeah.
So Doom the Viper, this is a wrong Doom, I can already tell you, because he had already gotten his ult off and everything.
yeah, so there's no spells being silenced.
Right.
Yeah.
He's just right-clicking. So Viper's passives are disabled, I'm pretty sure, while he's right-clicking. Or while he's doomed. Yeah, so he can't orb walk or his additive damage is not applied.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So you do disable his
Dire's
passives
top
as well,
tower
but
is under attack.
that's not really,
Viper passives are strong, but they're not nearly as strong as his ult, and he'd already gotten his ult off. The Doom was trying to cast it before he got the ult off, but it was a little bit too slow.
Yeah.
So that was a... Yeah, they got 2 kills. I think you got 2 kills. Did you kill them, Minnow?
We killed the.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, we got at least 2 kills, I think.
Okay, so a Viper and a Tree for a Vino and Avenge. I guess that's technically worth it, but they had to use Doom and OD ult as well. And they didn't kill the Spectre. And the Spectre ult is off cooldown in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
This game is just looking really hard for them. As soon as Spectre finishes Heart, then...
Yeah. But I'll do a little spoiler and say we are about halfway now. So
Spoiler alert.
spoiler
Halfway
alert.
now.
Yeah, it's this game is gonna get. It's not very one-sided.
Doom disables Dispersion, I think.
Doom disables pretty much everything. Yeah.
Pretty much everything, but the Dispersion is actually huge. So if you're not
Yeah.
taking all the reflective damage, and she's not soaking up that damage, that's why Doom's pretty good against Spectre. But
Yeah, and
if
also
you
it
disable
stops her
Spectre, then
little
yeah.
escape act there with the ulti.
yes.
Yeah, and
If
the
she's caught
dagger
out
as
a lot.
well. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's a very good ganking tool against Spectre, who's otherwise pretty hard to kill. I mean, you could say you could just pick up a really good stun like a Dragon Knight or Bane or a Beastmaster or something, and then it'll have the same effect pretty much. But yeah, maybe they were looking for something with an aura carry, which I think fits their lineup pretty well. I mean, they have some good right clickers other than the Doom, so his aura, if he
Dire's
just stacks
middle
up on aura
barracks are
static,
under
that'll help them a
attack.
lot.
Dire's structures are
They ended up
fortified.
killing the Bristleback, but they used Doom again for it.
Radiant's
So they
top
have,
tower is under attack.
they have Autumn and then Vitalon should be coming up cooldown yet. Oh, he didn't get a second point in it. At level 11. Okay, I'm gonna disagree with this. So they're like throwing their heads against the wall right here. They know they have
Dire's
to.
middle barracks are under
They have to get
attack.
some racks. To blow the Spectre ult for it. There's no
Radiant's
Bristle.
top tower is under attack.
There's still a Venom ult. That's about it. Yeah. So he gets it off on 4. That was a good ult. It was only level 1. OD comes in. He's got
Radiant's
ult
top
now.
tower is under attack.
Yeah, there's no way they're killing the Spectre.
Dire's middle barrack.
That was actually a little bit unfortunate.
Radiant's
The
top tower is under
Dust
attack.
was just barely out of range.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
But that's okay. That's not too important of a kill. So 4v5, they lost the fight,
Radiant's top tower is
and they
under
used
attack.
Vinal OD ult for it.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
Yeah, this isn't looking too good for Radiant, I'd say. They're not killing Spectre anymore.
No, not
Spectre
right
tree,
now.
man. They're like impossible. You can't kill them.
Yeah, that is like I think that part makes a little bit of sense. Looking back at it, I think just picking up a carry that could work better in our tri lane would have been better, and then just aiming for winning the laning stage really hard instead of this sort of aggro tri lane, but we're also looking to out carry your thing, which I don't know how.
The only thing I would have changed, I like the draft. I mean, besides the no stuns, I like the draft. All I would have done is just did a safe lane and then send Bristle bottom. That's the only thing I would change, because you outcarry them so hard that if they don't, death push pretty early, then you win the game.
That's true. That's true.
Spectre's about to get her heart. And then that's only 2 items for Spectre, 30 minutes in, but they're like arguably the 2 most important. The only thing that adds more DPS than the Radiance on a Spectre or an Illusion carry is a Diffusal Blade, because it's only for melee carries, I mean. Diffusal, or the orb effect from it does more damage if it takes off, if it burns your mana, right? So it decreases your mana, but that only applies to main hero and then melee illusion heroes. So, like if any mage's thing wasn't a burn, then his illusions will get it. That's why PL gets it, Spectre gets it, Naga gets it.
Yeah.
Not like ranged. Oh my gosh, that Spectre would have absolutely been dead right there. That arrow was so close. Whew. But it's got heart, so man, game is hard.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Further.
that was fairly close. Like, I don't think there was any reason why we were down there. To be honest, I think that was a little bit of a mistake.
This is kind of farming.
Yeah. About we talked about the mech on the Treant instead of the Viper a little while ago. What do you think of this mech on the Doom instead of on the Venge or the Veno?
Well, the Doom, this is why I was mentioning it actually. Doom can go kind of pretty much any build because he farms so fast. You can get like phase boots, treads, arcanes. They're all straight travels. They're all completely worth it on Doom because he farms just so quickly that it doesn't matter what he gets really. For it, a mech on a Doom is good because he's really tanky. It gives him extra armor. It lets him support the team. This crazy died. That mech just might barely save you. Actually, no, I think you're dead. From the poison thing? Yeah. Do you get a leech it off?
Yeah. That was exactly what I was thinking. I did need to get that lead sheet off. Because
Yeah.
Dire's
I'm dead.
top tower is under attack.
Should have maybe looked for the overgrowth instead, but I don't know. Hard to say which is more important.
So I ended up winning that fight. I think you just overextended slightly.
Yeah.
You didn't have creeps with you. You're tanking tower.
Yeah.
The bristle is getting close to pipe. As soon as he finishes that, then fights become even easier because you're hardly taking any damage after that. But to finish my thought on the Doom mech and Viper mech, Viper mech's really good because you want to tank up because you're Viper, right? The longer you live, the better the fight goes. And Doom is the same way, kind of. He gets off his Doom and he makes sure that his team survives
Dire's middle barracks
through the engagement because he's really, really tanky. His strength gain is absurd. He has really low armor, so if you build armor on him, then he survives a whole lot longer. And this is kind of silly here. The Spectre can do chip damage because it doesn't matter how much damage she takes as long as she survives because she has the heart. So I think that was 2 unnecessary deaths there.
Yeah.
But that's okay. 1 lane of Rex at this point is not game ending. The Spectre's fat enough to deal with it.
Yeah. Like we can counter push the mega creeps pretty easily. So let's just sync up again once this pause is over. Shouldn't
Okay.
take too long.
So yeah, a mech is really important if, like 2 things. If you get it super early, right? Because then you can 3, 4, 5 man, and there's nothing they can do about it, right? Because you have a mech and they don't. And also, if it's just light enough in the game for that tiny boost of HP and armor to be worth it. If you somehow got the game to go like 60 minutes or something, and you still don't have a mech, then it's not worth getting a mech because that heal and 2 extra armor is not worth it that late in the game. Like a Vlad's would be much more better because it gives percentages of damage and life steal to melee carries, and
Yeah.
it's an extra armor as well. 5 extra armor as opposed to 2 for a mech. So mech's better the earlier you get it, which is why a lot of lineups will draft something so a core is going a mech. Like in Radiant's lineup, let's just take the cores. Potom doesn't ever go mech. If you do, then there's something wrong with the team. OD likes to go mech. Doom likes to go mech. Both Vino and
Really? OD
Vinge
likes
like
to
to
go
go
mech?
mech. OD loves to go mech, yeah.
Okay.
He has a infinite mana pool, so as soon as you get up to 1 point in Arcane Orb, then you can do it. A lot of teams like Mushi and all. Mushi does not like going mech. He likes going Force Staff into Sheep because he likes going straight up. I'm going to do as much damage as I possibly can and drain as much mana as you can so that we'll win the fight. So if ever like DK drafts like an OD or something, I'm sorry, what did you say?
Oh, yeah, it's just this was a really long pause. So when it finally unpaused, it caught me off guard. So yeah.
Oh, I'm not quite there yet. I'm at 46.
It's 50 minutes.
Oh, it's all the way at 50 minutes.
Yeah, all the way at 50 minutes. We had I forgot our offlane. Dropped off Skype and had to restart it and all kinds of crap.
Oh gosh.
So,
I'm glad they waited.
Yeah, people are really good about it in team games actually.
Okay, I'm at 43. Sorry. 43. I'm at 49.57. That was right when they unpaused.
Okay, yeah. Let's see.
Before we start up on, I'm just going to finish my thing. Like DK, if they draft like an OD, they'll usually draft something else. They can get a quick mech. Usually, because I know Mushi personally doesn't like going mech, but OD's a great mech carrier because he has infinite mana with his Arcane Orb spam. So, and item usage on himself. So it's like if you get up into a push and he has like level 12 or level 11, then he's already at a point in his orb, so he's right-clicking really hard, and then he buffs up his team with mech, and it's just like, if you win the fight, then you take 2 towers, because he'll have enough mana to get up a whole nother mech. So he's a really good mech carrier. The Vinge and Vino, you don't usually want to get mech in this instance, because they get it a lot later than one of the other two would, because you're not putting it on a core. So usually, if you're going to draft more early game, like the Radiant did in this, then you want to put it on a core. If you're going for more late game, then it's okay to get it on Treant or Visage, I guess, in this case. Bristleback's actually a good mech carrier, too.
Yeah.
If you get up, like, 2 Arcane Boots, then it makes him even more tanky. He gets up, like, mech, Pipe, Vanguard, Heart, AC. He's like, you can't kill him, ever. Just give up. Just cry. Go home.
Yeah. But on the downside, like, he has trouble killing stuff in the late game. So
The Bristleback doesn't need to worry about killing. He gets tons of damage just from proccing just by using his spells, right? Because his ultimate gives him bonus move speed and damage, which is like 15% with 3 stacks, and you can up to like 5 or 6 stacks, I think.
yeah.
Yeah, so 15, so 25% extra damage.
It maxes out at like I think it's 400 physical.
Max stacks is 7. Yeah. That's a lot of freaking damage just from using spells. That's not even accounting for the extra strength and all that he's pumping into. Like, as soon as he gets a heart, he's hitting. That's an extra 150 damage, right, from just normal right clicks.
Yeah,
So,
but there's
plus
there are some problems with it. It's just if you can somehow just stop him from adding on quill spray stacks, like say with Astral Imprisonment, then they're just gonna tick down, and then when they're not at max stacks, they do very little damage. Like almost.
I wasn't even talking about quill spray. I was talking about his warpath.
Oh, Warpath. Oh yeah, that doesn't max out at 400. That's a lot less.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm saying all of that it's not a steroid from items. It's only from his nasal goo and quill spray. So I mean, he's annoying if he stays up in fights.
Yeah, he is.
Astraling him and stuff and dooming him is completely viable. Like, you don't want a bristle going around rampaging on you. I'm just saying, if he stays alive, then his quill spray is worth it, right? Like, in the entire fight.
Yeah.
So that's why you want to tank up for him.
Yeah.
So you don't actually have to stack. And he's also in this lineup. He's not your main right clicker, right?
No,
You
no.
have Spectre and Viper. So all Bristle has to do is survive in
Yeah.
fights. So that's it. That's his job.
Yeah, and if he survives, then he can pretty reliably mob up with nasal goo and quill spray and the warpath stacks and all that. Then he becomes a problem. But it's just, yeah, the proper way to handle him if anyone is having trouble with bristlebacks, just to delay him. If you have any kind of silence or these Spanish effects, those are really good against him. Just because you can kind of just let the quill spray stacks tick down. All of his stuff is stack based, so once those stacks are gone, they're a lot less frightening. And yeah, and if he's alone, he's not a lot less of a threat than if there's support with him. So
The other way to in team fights when they start grouping, you have to make sure he doesn't guess. So yeah, silence is good. Also, you have to kill his team first.
Yeah.
Because if you blow everything into him, then he's gonna get the quill spray passive off constantly. So
Yeah.
he's gonna do a lot of damage. So you
Yeah.
have to kill everything else,
Yeah,
and then kill him.
if you're gonna blow everything on him, just stun him up, walk in front of him, and blow everything on him.
Yeah.
Not behind, for God's sake. Oh yeah, but he's a
Whatever you do,
cruel
not
hero
behind.
to play. Yeah, he's a cruel hero to play against newbies just because it's so counterintuitive. You can have a hero that can flee from you and kill you at the same time.
Right.
It's just, yeah, people don't get it. Okay, I
Yeah.
think we are about ready to start up again. It's at
Ready.
49, 57, and 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah. But you are completely right about the mech usage here. It is very deliberately, we're not prioritizing it super highly here.
Mhm.
Both because we have the Treant already, so we have heal already. It feels like, a little bit too much of the same
Dire's
thing maybe.
structures are fortified.
Like it is
Dire's
good.
top tower
I would
is
argue
under
that you
attack.
can never have too much heal, unless you went like Tree
Dire's
Necro.
top tower has fallen.
What else has a heal? An Omni Knight. If you went all heals and no damage, then
Yeah.
you would have too much heal. But for an item's sake, I don't think a mech is ever a bad choice. The only time you could prioritize pipe over mech, I think, literally any time, is if the enemy has an AA on their team.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's about it. And he's snowballing. If you get a mech early, then the AA can't do anything about it if he's not 6.
Yeah, I think in this game we talked about maybe I should have gone for a blink instead. Though it would have been, I'm 1 and 8, so it would have been a very late blink. But as you talked about, we have so little lockdown that maybe we should have looked to utilize this overgrowth a little more and have one of the other obvious mech carriers we have in the Viper or the Bristleback get the mech instead. And I think getting a mech instead of the Van card on Bristleback is very useful.
I think so too. So here's an interesting fight. They decided to go Roche when all 5 of the young were up. I guess if you didn't notice, then it would have been worth it, but it's kind of pretty obvious when they all just all of a sudden back and they stopped pushing that they were going to go Roche. I mean, they're just on full-on retreat here. They're going to lose 2, maybe 3. I don't think Vena's going to be able to survive. And then you end up getting the Doom as well from the Spectre. Yeah, I don't know. That was a silly thing. If you're going to go Roche against something as team fight heavy as y'all are at the moment, then you have to make sure you get a pick off first.
Yeah.
Or you have 2 lanes of racks down.
Yeah, I think it was definitely a bet from them. It didn't really pan out.
And then now the Spectre is going to get another Aegis.
Yeah, we did the dumb thing again. We went on. Actually, a lot of the aggro went on Doom to begin with. He just tanked up so much. That could have snowballed so much better for us. Even
It's
better
worth
than it
going
did.
on Doom if you can kill him before he gets Doom off.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he had tons of time and he mech'd and he just kept walking. He should have just thrown Doom because you're not going to take 2 racks from that
Roshan has
quick.
fallen to the dire.
He's kind of in trouble. Yeah, I don't think that'd be worth trying to save. I mean, I guess you can still.
Radiant's
Oh, you
bottom
forgot to use
tower
mech too.
is under attack.
Yeah, I just would have thrown out Living Armor, mech'd him, and then just run away. See if your team could get there in time. Maybe throw out an Overgrowth. Yeah, Overgrowth is on a pretty low cooldown for an ult, right? Yeah, 70 seconds for.
Yeah, that's not
Pretty long
not very
lockdown.
prohibitive, no.
So in this, they have to be really careful because Spectre has an Aegis, right? And there's a Bristleback right in the middle of them. You could just keep on fighting.
Yeah, we're a little hesitant because they do have a lot of.
Dire's
good
middle
capability here.
tower is
Bristleback's
under
gonna eat
attack.
Arrow to the back, don't eat a Doom, and he's almost dead.
For me.
Pathetic whelp.
It does look like he melted so fast there. I do think Bristleback was probably disabled by
Radiant's
Doom.
top tower is
Because he
under
just
attack.
that did not look like 40% damage reduction.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So
Radiant's top tower
no,
is
they're not
under
going
attack.
to really. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work.
Radiant's top tower has fallen. Dire's bottom tower has
I mean, they have
fallen.
5 up, but you still have living armor and all. They just lost a free tower bottom. So Spectral, yeah, I don't know how they win this. Doom is down. I guess they have been ult, but there's no way that the Spectre's gonna die from it. Yeah, that was just again pretty silly from them.
Dire's
Not
bottom
a good
barracks
fight.
are under attack.
Yeah,
What you
it
just
was.
did with healing up the racks
Dire's
there,
middle
I would
tower
disagree
is
with.
under
Is
attack.
until a fight's completely over, and there's someone that possibly could benefit from living armor, then I would save it for later because it doesn't matter how low it gets, right? As long as it survives.
Yeah.
So then you can living armor it back up. Living armor's not. The ticks don't go down from poison sting, right? It's not passes. It's only from initial damages. Initial damages
I think
besides
actually-
medicated dots. Like Quap's dagger still causes it to tick, right?
I don't know. I think it's every like I think poisons just demolish it, but maybe I'm wrong.
I know the wards take it off. I'm not sure if the poison. I know the Gale takes it off. I'm not sure if the passive from the poison sting actually takes it off.
Then
Oh
I
well,
think, then
find
I
out
think it probably does. Yeah, there's a few abilities like that, like Templar Assassin's Refraction's probably the biggest one.
Yeah.
You have something that can just effortlessly, it's like Viper, just take it down. Then she's in a bad spot.
Bad spot's an understatement. That
Yeah.
yeah, her refraction pretty much makes the hero. Oh boy. So you don't have protection for this, which means he's gonna get a doom off on whoever he wants. Except for yeah, he's gonna go on the Spectre. Yeah. The Spectre does have an Aegis here, so you can still really turn this around. Have to make sure you don't lose everyone in that Aegis timing. As long as the Bristle survives, then you win this fight. And the Bristle died. Oh, bought back.
Radiant's bottom tower
Okay.
has fallen.
And then Doom ended up buying back. The Spectre should not be running back right now. There's no Doom online, and he had already BKB'd. Don't be scared, Spectre.
There's no OD, and with Sheepstick, so
Yeah, we still have the Viper on it too, which means they have to choose to go for one. Yeah, you can straight up kill 2 of them.
yeah, maybe a little.
Yeah, you can
little
kill
too
all.
cautious
I
there.
think you could kill probably all 3 right there. Still have Visage Birds too. That was. I think that buyback was probably worth it. Maybe.
On the Doom.
No, on the Treant threat though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That I actually think it was a pretty bad mistake, but yeah, I was getting pretty close to Blink, but it depends on how much you think you should prioritize Blink there. So it ended up like I was pretty nervous there, but it ended up not doing a whole lot.
I think the buyback actually caused them to double think
Yeah, okay.
about going on the Spectre. Now she has Butterfly, right? So evasion really thinking good against right clickers. They don't have too many right clickers besides OD, and I don't think Bottom's sitting that hard right now. I mean, she has Maelstrom and Demon. She's sitting like fairly decently, but evasion is disabled by Doom if you get Doom. So the way to win the
Yeah.
fight is to make sure the Spectre does not get doomed.
Yeah, so maybe a Lincoln's instead.
Go on a Spectre? No. The Butterfly's almost always worth it on Spectre because
Yeah.
the illusions benefit from the added agility. So
They
do a
also
lot.
have a sheep stick, so that also disables the evasion.
Yeah, they have 2 ways to disable the evasion, but then they have to. Okay, so how do you win a fight as Radiant right here? You have to Doom Spectre or Bristle, and then you have to sheep the other one, and then kill whoever they're sheeped. That's the only way I think you win a fight. You don't outlast the fight, like with the Venom ult and all. Evaded out and Spectre ult. I don't know how you're gonna fight this. Now, Spectre has the mechanic that was changed last time. You can insta kill a Viper. They still have Doom up. This is a scary fight.
Yeah.
This is actually pretty tense. So, oh, they Doom and Sheep the Bristle. Okay, so that was a mistake on them. Because they haven't killed the Spectre yet. They threw everything at the other one. Ooh! Oh my gosh, is Spectre gonna live? That might have been the only thing that kept you in the game.
Yeah.
If they had doomed the Crystal and then Sheep the Spectre, I think the game would have been over right there. Spectre didn't have buyback.
Yet another pause here. Just after the fight, but it looks like we also have to resync again, so...
Sync, 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 sync.
Yeah. Just fast forwarding past the pause here. There we go. Okay, at basically 1 hour and 50 seconds, let's say.
One hour 15.
Oh, my display is broken, so I can't actually see when it's... Yeah, okay.
You can start at 150?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm there now.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. So, yeah. Despite, you know, us having the
Dire's
better
bottom
carry,
barracks are under attack.
they're making the proper move to try and disable it, and it's kind of allowing them for this kind of awkward fight here in mid for us, and, you know, taking advantage of that. So despite on paper, as you say, the Spectre should just be owning everyone at this point in
Dire's
the game
middle tower
with the
is
farm she
under
has.
attack.
That it just isn't completely happening. Like, we're getting some fights that are quite even, and I think that's because they have the Doom, they have the Sheepstake, they have some tools to disable her. And yeah, it just, you know, we got a bit of an awkward fight. They reacted not completely horribly, and, you know, were just able to almost completely take the game there.
It was really close. It was right on the edge.
Yeah.
The Spectre buyback from bottom allowed them to get more kills, but then they chickened out when they could have gone for more. I think that was one huge mistake that led to that one. So then Spectre could not... Like, she haunted to start the fight, and you didn't start the fight until way after the haunted ended. I don't think I finished my thoughts on the Spectre haunt. So she haunts, right? And then you use a sub-ability to go to an illusion, and you can use it again on another illusion, like again on another illusion, like before they run out.
Okay, you can?
Yes.
Okay.
So that makes it really, really confusing for the other team. Like, they might expend an ability, and then all of a sudden you're somewhere else, and then all of a sudden you're somewhere else, and you're right-clicking really freaking hard at that point. So I think if you're gonna blow a haunt, unless, you know, they're all completely grouped up and there's no other teammate like and all around you at all. Like, say you're all on top left of the map and they're all on the bottom right. If you haunt and you don't want to, like, go in because there's no one else there, unless it's like one hero by itself and you have a diffusal blade, then you can definitely get the kill. But if it's in a fight like that, like you're testing the waters, you can go around to all the illusions. You don't have too much of a worry about getting killed, because they'll like throw stuff at you. You can easily dodge it by just using the ability again.
Yeah, just going to another illusion simply.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's just a thought. I don't know if I'd add too much of a difference, but you could have gotten a little more damage off, caused a little more havoc. Maybe baited out a Doom or something. You smoked up here. This is a scary fight as well. The arrow ends up hitting an illusion. You end up getting a pretty good overgrowth off. And the Doom didn't use his Doom. Like, he's trying to run away, but there's no way he's getting away with all your slows. I don't think they played that very well at all. They got caught out with the Doom because they tried to use the Wave of Terror to scout and they didn't see anything, and then all of a sudden they were there anyway. Now we're there. So I think that's what ended up in the fight. You just caught him out just enough. And then Doom panicked and didn't Doom.
Double damage.
Yeah, the OD didn't sheep either, I don't think. At least I didn't see it.
Yeah, I think you're completely right. Like, it just, you know, the smoke just caught them off guard, and Yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to do. I mean, it's a little bit odd when we were just running straight at them and they're kind of looking in the direction we were going. Like, it wasn't like we came from the flank or somewhere weird, but it was just the fact that they were trying to scout with this ability, and it kind of just played tricks on them there. And yeah, the Doom kind of hesitating, not helping out.
Roshan has
So,
fallen to the
what'd you
dark.
win out of that fight? You got a wipe, right? They bought back on the Doom. He used a BKB, and I think I said they
one-
used Pod Multi and Venom Mancer ulti.
I think maybe one got away. I think maybe two.
Oh, okay.
Did we kill the
Still
Mirana?
completely worth fight, and then you got a Nagus out of it. So,
I think if we got a
Um,
wipe, we'd just push instead of taking the. I don't see us taking the Roshan if we didn't. If we got a wipe. So that's the only reason why I think we didn't get a wipe there.
say that again?
I think if we had gotten a wipe, we would have pushed Rax instead.
Oh, I
Taking
see
the,
what you mean. I see what
yeah.
you mean. Rax is permanent damage, whereas Roche is arguably not permanent damage. I mean, you get Nagus out of it, and everyone gets gold, right? That's good. But a Rax is a
Yeah.
thing that will be there the entire game. They have to deal with. There's something I want to talk about Rax too. The most important Rax to kill is always top. Right? If you ever have a choice, like if you just completely wipe them and you're going to get a Rax from it, you want to kill top Rax because Roche is located at the bottom. So middle Rax is not that important because it's the smallest lane. Bottom is not that important because you're going to naturally push that anyway because you want to be closer to Roche. If you get top, then you have to dedicate a hero to push out all the way to the top of the left corner of the map, which in the late game is the least important section of the entire place. So if you ever have a choice, so if they had done like top Rax instead of middle, or they didn't chip away at bottom, then you would be having a much harder time in this. It wouldn't be as hard for y'all because a Spectre can be in a fight at any time, right? When it gets to uber late game, you want to be in the fight, save your haunt, so you can buy back haunts, and then you can have like 3 lives in a fight with Aegis as well. But that's about it. Spectre's a slight exception to this rule, besides Tinker and all too. So Tinker's, Spectre, anything that has travels, it can be there instantly for a fight. It's gonna be like sort of halfway hiccup there. So you smoked into this using tree guys. You can use the nature's guys on allies too.
Yeah.
And this unfortunate Veno, he is not happy right now.
No, that was really bad. And then the Viper just gets caught out in the middle of all of them and somehow doesn't die.
Yeah, I don't. Like he had BKB, which I guess is pretty much the biggest reason. Spectre blew the ult for it too. Though he actually ends up killing the Venge off there. Well, he should have. I cannot believe that Venge survived. Wow. But Spectre didn't ult into it, so she's way back at base. So this is actually not good positioning right here.
No, we are realizing that as well. We need to get out. Because we cannot fight without the Spectre here.
I don't know if they realize that the Spectre's not here because they could completely destroy this fight.
Yeah.
That was a good ult that you got left. He went the Doom on the Visage, which I completely disagree with here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just gonna win the rest of this fight. They still have OD Sheep. Oh, he's dead. He's about to be dead. Oh my gosh. So what does the Doom have at this point? He's got an AC, so he's hitting actually pretty hard.
Radiant's top tower
But-
is
Yeah,
under
he is.
attack.
He's not hitting nearly hard enough to kill Spectre for it. He ends up buying back. I don't know.
I've been better.
They've used a lot of buybacks in this. And also, I don't think I mentioned that the Spectre had gotten defusal a lot before that, so she had it for that fight.
Yeah.
Denied.
Yeah. I remember that.
We're probably gonna survive this, but screw you.
Yeah,
Radiant's
I
top
remember that
tower
over
is under
Skype. Just
attack.
get over here. Come over here. Just,
Oh man, I'd be so mad at him.
Radiant's
I could have
structures are
lived.
fortified.
I'm a bristleback.
Radiant's top tower is
Yeah,
under
that was pretty
attack.
funny though.
yeah.
Okay, so I know I mentioned before, Spectre with Fusel Blade that goes to
Radiant's
Illusion,
top
so it
tower
does
is
even
falling.
more damage, which is why it's so good. And I don't think we talked about why BKB is not a good item, or not a preferred
Dire's
item,
middle
I should say,
tower
for
is under
Spectre.
attack.
This is risky as hell.
Radiant's
have an Aegis
middle
and a
tower
bird.
is under
Okay.
attack.
Oof. BKB you don't want to get on illusion heroes most of the time because you end up using your illusions to do most of the damage, right? And BKB doesn't offer any damage. All it offers is making sure that you don't die to the massive amount of magic damage they have.
Yeah.
So this game would actually be a pretty good BKB game for Spectre. They have Veno ult, Veno Gale, Venge stun, Venge not the swap because you're BKB. I mean OD, he can't orb walk you.
Yeah.
His ult has no effect.
Yeah.
The Doom doesn't, or does reduce damage. And you can't level death you, and you can't get hit by Potom Arrow. That's like
Yeah.
a lot to dodge with BKB, but since you have so much heal and so much tank otherwise, then you might not want to get it. It's kind of a
Yeah.
you go back and forth.
It's sort of like a. Is it necessary? Because. Yeah, it is a purely defensive item, and with these illusion heroes, it is just kind of, you know, the chaos you create with these illusions. You can kind of rely on that to eat up the non-AoE stuns, or the non-AoE spells, I mean. They'll just, you know, there's a big chance they just end up going on some illusion instead of on the main target.
Yes. So now I was just looking at the Spectre just a minute. He's queued up a Daedalus, and I'm going to disagree with this next choice. Daedalus gives lots of damage, but it only gives damage. For illusion heroes, you want to tank up, make sure your illusions are doing damage, and not die, right? So, if you go for something like a Scotty, then that benefits illusions a lot because they get the stat gain, right? So they get a lot more tanky. The slow effect doesn't go towards the illusions, like they don't get the slow. They get the animation, they don't get the slow. But it makes them so tanky that they're not killing Spectre illusions normally anyway, but like they're much right-clicking that much harder because it gives a ridiculous amount of stat gain.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that.
The crit is transferred to illusions though, so
Oh, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
it is a good
Okay.
one. It is a decent way to get the damage, but of course you don't get the tank. So it depends what your priority is, I guess.
I have 2800 health. I don't know. I guess in this one it doesn't matter all that much because it's light enough so like Bristle and Viper doing a ton of damage. But Bristle just gonna stay C. So actually find the Spectre. You need to be doing everything you can to actually keep him alive, but he's still got buyback and haunt, so they blew both the evasion canceling techniques, so they're gonna end up losing the fight no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was really bad. They actually got the Spectre down, but as you mentioned, she did have buyback. There was no problem just taking the fight after that, because with Spectre you can just come back, use your haunt, and boom, you're back into it in 2 seconds flat.
Yeah. Spectre buyback's one of the most important buybacks
Yeah.
that any hero can have.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Because you're instantly right back in the fight doing all your damage.
Yeah. So while a really good pickup for them, it was any other carry, it would have been a longer time before they're back into it.
I think that was about the only chance they had.
Yeah,
Once more into the breach.
I think you're right. It was pretty well done, but you know, it was just too much from our side.
Another buyback. And another buyback.
There's no one has buyback in the game now.
At all.
Yeah, at all.
Radiant's
When it
top
gets to
barracks are
a
under
later game
attack.
like this, 50+ minutes, buyback's one of the most important things you have to keep in mind, besides finishing a next item, like, oh, I'm only 20 away, or 100, or
Radiant's
200 away
top
from finishing
barracks
next item.
has
It's like,
fallen.
no, I need to make sure that I can still
Radiant's
fight
top barracks are
once we're
under
done.
attack.
Yeah.
Radiant's
I end
top
up
barracks
fighting the
has
Spectre.
fallen.
Living armor might just keep him
Radiant's
alive,
bottom
and the mech
tower
too,
is under
yeah.
attack.
The Spectre will live, and if she lives, then you turn this fight, too. You can envisage Azzume's hero, I know that. It disables stuff like Ricky's
Oh,
thing, but
yeah.
that's because it's a main. It's a main. Oh, end up taking top. So Treant early game doesn't. I mean, you have to constantly be looking over the map to whoever to use living armor on, but late game he uses spells pretty often.
Yeah.
Kind of like a tinker, you know. Not to the point of a tinker, but you want to use living armor every time it's off cooldown because mana is not an issue at this point. It's just free regen for
Yeah.
whoever or for your towers and all. it's like, true, you can't really fall asleep while like you're AFK farming or something. It's like, okay, something can be healed right now, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. Like always, there's something. Is this the game?
Viper is lucky right here in that Venge didn't have a swap. He'd have been completely screwed.
Yeah. Yeah, our Venge got a little scared from that Doom and just pulled out of the fight completely. And yeah, that once we don't have the Spectre, it just gets a little. Did I say Venge before? I don't know.
I don't know.
Might have. Yeah, but without the Spectre, without the hard carry, we're just not really having much. Viper is a decent core, but he's a lot more mid-game focused. He just here in the end game, he's just not really up to snuff.
No, definitely not. His ult's huge and then goes through BKB, which is really good for like hiding a Doom, you know? That's about it. That's I think all that he offers. If you win a fight or they're running, then he offers a whole lot too. But they threw a lot at the Spectre. That swap actually kept him from getting the Venos though. So he just might end up surviving. Nope. Oh, denied. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is actually kind of scary. Spectre doesn't have buyback.
Yeah.
Down for 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's more than a little scary now. We were actually just debating whether or not this was just GG, because can we defend without Spectre now? It's,
She needs to have someone by her at all times. She doesn't have buyback.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Ooh, yeah, that is.
Radiant's middle tower
This is tense, actually. Okay, so how do you defend in a situation like this? You have to throw all your tools to delay them as much as they can to hopefully like turn them around. Like they pretty much know it's GG if they don't win this, I think.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Okay, so that was a good tree ult. They end up instantly killing the Venom, which is pretty huge. Viper doesn't have BKB in this, so he's gonna die. And they end up sheeping the Bristle, but you did get the living armor off on him, which might end up just saving him. But no, so Viper has buyback. That was it. Doom has buyback. No one else has buyback for this team. Oh my gosh.
Radiant's ancient
I don't
is
know how to
under
win
attack.
this.
yeah, it's.
Oh, the Vista just got buyback.
Ancient is under
Oh
attack.
my gosh, the creeps just won you this game.
Ancient is under attack.
If you end up getting the Vista's gonna kill the OD. Oh yes.
Dire's ancient is under attack.
Okay. Literally, the creeps just won the game because they gave the Visage just enough gold to buy back. And the Bristle too.
Bottom
Oh
tower
my
is under
god!
attack.
yeah.
That is the most intense thing ever.
Yeah, take a look at the Radiant base.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They
Yeah,
end
yeah.
up killing the tier 4s, which gave you just enough reliable gold.
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Radiant's ancient is under attack.
Oh my goodness. Having to use living armor on the ancient.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that in a long time.
yeah. I was like,
Radiant's ancient is under
live.
attack.
Oh, okay, so Doom bought back, right? Spectre haunted. You need to, like, go after this Doom, Spectre. What are you doing? Oh, Spectre's going for the GG.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, swapped into the...
Radiant's
Oh,
ancient
that
is
thing was
under
that.
attack.
Why are you afraid? Oh my gosh, just hit the throne. Oh, this is... The Spectre dies right here. Seems like it's supposed to be back. Oh my gosh, Spectre just like... Game of Thrones right here. Okay, this game got a whole lot more tense. Okay, now Bristle's in the middle of nowhere. What is going on? Oh my gosh. Are the creeps
Radiant's
winning?
ancient is under attack.
Yeah, Creeps winning.
Oh my gosh, the creeps are winning. Oh, okay, the Doom and the Thing died. They totally forgot to defend their base.
Yeah.
Radiant's
Oh
ancient is under
my gosh.
attack.
What an ending!
Yeah, that's why I remember this game as being pretty tight.
Oh my gosh. I don't think I've ever seen an instance where no one had buyback, okay, and then the creeps end up killing towers.
Yeah, it was.
I'm like almost speechless. That was amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I think we could definitely have played better. But yeah, the game was pretty good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Gosh, now my heart's going.
I
That
think
was
maybe
exciting.
I used the I don't even know what it's called. The Nature Skies is it called that? The first ability.
The Invis, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. I think I used that 3 times the whole game
3 times.
in a 1-hour game.
Uh-huh.
So that's not optimal. I've only played a few Treant games, but I really like it so far. It's just you have to. It's a very different style of hero to play. It isn't like your Venge where you're like, yeah, I've got my stun and my other ability here, and I just kind of use them. There's not a rocket science. Tree, there's a little bit of stuff you have to think about.
Tree makes you play differently too when you're up
Yeah.
against one. It's like you have to constantly be aware. Do I have enough damage to hit this guy and enough instances to remove tree armor, right? Because if you don't, then you're not gonna get a kill. Yeah.
Yeah, and also Leech Seed in the early game just so huge because you're just healing so much with it. It's just completely screws up your kind of estimate of how much damage do we need to win this like 3-on-3 fight in these Treant versus Treant scenarios, which is what we are trying to abuse with this strategy.
Right, and Tree you normally think of as like a greedy hero because you want the
Yeah.
level 7 for the maxed living armor, but since the recent change to Leech Seed, it's like, well, I need like level 2 and I'm good to go.
Yeah, it's super
Yeah.
good. It's just a stupid ability. Like in the early game, it's just so good, so good.
Living armor doesn't do damage, but it does interrupt TPs, I think, and it goes through magic immunity.
Oh,
So
you mean Leech Seed?
no, I mean Overgrowth ult.
Oh yeah, it does.
Yeah, and he's a really freaking good hero.
Yeah, he is. Like, there's a lot of pros who've been talking about him as just completely broken. Like, if they're saying that if the enemy gets 3, then you lose 2 lanes, pretty much.
Right.
Like, you
He
can't.
doesn't have to be there.
Yeah,
And
if
he just
you
wins the lane.
you can't attack the lane he's in because of Leech Seed, and you can't attack one of the other lanes because you can just keep it alive with, you know, armor thing.
Living
Yeah,
armor,
Living
yeah.
armor. Yeah, it's just super strong. It's a really good hero. It's a really good hero, but it just needs the right team. And in this case, that meant a ton of tanky heroes that I could just keep alive, and a Visage and another support that's really damage focused. Because that's one thing. Aside from the early game, Tree really does not do any damage. There's a reason why. It wasn't just my my playing here that landed me a 312 in a hour-long game. No, that's pretty much just these very healing focused heroes just don't happen to get the last hits beyond the early game because they just don't dish out the damage.
I think you're downplaying the 312. It's not 312. It's 312-20.
Yeah.
Right. And whenever I always count an assist kind of like a kill. You don't actually get the kill, but you were there for the kill, which means you had an impact on 23 kills as opposed to 12 deaths.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's never KD. It's KDA.
Yeah. Like this is pretty decent stats for support.
Oh
But-
yeah.
But it's just just saying that he's a good hero, but he doesn't do everything. He doesn't do the damage. Like, you have the overgrowth for the lockdown, but if you just lock him down and nothing happens, yeah, then it's just well, couldn't I just have had like a Sand King or something that could go in and do some damage instead? Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was a fun game.
It was.
Really freaking intense at the end too. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was. It was really good. You recorded your own version as usual.
I think so. Let me double check.
Yeah,
Pretty
so-
sure I did.
So
Yes, I did.
I should have said so in the beginning, but if you want to know what Azzume is talking about, a lot of the time he did do most of the talking here. I feel a little bit odd commenting my own games, so I just kind of let him take the driver's seat here. Naturally, I don't control his camera, so if you want to know what he was talking about, see it from his perspective, head over to his channel. I'll put in a link. And yeah, please let us know what you think about this video, and thank you for watching.
Thank you indeed.